Hey there, guys, and welcome to another video about the Microsoft Agent Framework. Today, what I want to do is tackle how you would add long-term memory to your agent. And before we jump into some code, let's have a little think about what long-term memory is, why we need it, and the value it's going to bring to your users as they start using your agent more and more. So, let's dive on in. Okay, so before we jump into some code, what I thought we could do is just have a little visual representation of what memory is in the context of an agent and what are some of its constituent parts to get it to work. So, in our fairly lo-fi diagram, but I hope it gets the point across, we have at the tippity top, we have Teams Copilot, the channel within which our users are going to interact with our agent. We've got an SDK, the M365 Agents SDK, which is going to broker our agent interactions up. And then we're into our actual agent implementation. And so we've got the ability to interact with MCP tools. We've got an LLM that's going to power the whole thing. And then we've got memory as a, well, here it's sort of described as a separate concern. And really the purpose of long-term memory and providing that as a capability to our agent is really to save our users having to present the same information about themselves over and over again at the start of each new chat session. So what memory allows us to do is when we input something about ourselves that's meaningful or something that's going to be useful in further interactions, the memory component is going to capture those, right? And the way it does that is behind the scenes, it's basically a tool call, which it's going to decide, okay, Sam's provided some information about himself. For example, here we've got the, let's say I said I really like coding in Python. And it's basically been prompted in a way that's then going to say, okay, so if we get something like that that's going to be of use in further interactions, I'm then going to capture that as a memory. And what it basically does behind the scenes is it's going to commit that memory into a vector store. Okay, and it's also going to vectorize it so that it's then easier to search over later, much like retrieval augmented generation patterns. And obviously, once we've got those memories captured, the idea is that, let's say, I walk away from the agent and in a couple of days' time, I return to it and I come in and say something like, can I have an example of how to code an agent using the new Microsoft Agent Framework? And I guess instead of, for example, offering up an example in C# or in Java, for example, what the agent will now do is, because it's got that contextual memory even, that is captured, it's then going to go off and search that vector store for things like programming language preferences. And then that's going to bring back, as we said loud and clear here, I really like coding in Python. And then that's going to allow the agent to deliver a much more personalized response back to me in the future, as in providing examples in Python straight away, as opposed to, guessing over lots of different languages. And I guess the idea is that as we use the agent more and more, these preferences could also change, right? So there is also the facility to update these memories as well. So really, the idea is to kind of evolve, and the agent really should get better and better and provide more personalized recommendations and responses to our users the more and more that they use it. So what we're going to do now is step into some code, have a little look at the Microsoft Agent Framework implementation of memory. Specifically, in that case, it's providing what's called a context provider. And I'll show you an example where we can use some components in Azure and obviously make sure that we're keeping these user preferences in a safe and compliant manner. So yeah, let's jump on in. So before we start having a look at some code, what I wanted to do was show you this memory feature in action. So what we have in front of us here is the very imaginatively titled, as all of my agent names are, we have the Teams single sign-on agent. But this agent has also been equipped with memory. So if I ask it some very basic questions about myself, it will be able to reason over some of the previous interactions I've had with the agent and provide helpful answers. So if I ask something very simple like, what languages do I speak? We'll send that off to the agent. And in the background, as the bot sort of initializes, it's going to kind of intelligently think, right, do I need to go off to my memory store and go and retrieve this information about Sam? So you can see here it said, based on your profile information, you speak 2 languages, English and German is your secondary language. Now, I have also told this agent what programming languages I like, in that I like Python, C Sharp, followed by JavaScript. So if I was to ask something like, can I have a tutorial on the agent framework memory feature in my favorite programming language, we'll send that off, and what it should do is go off and find out what my favorite language is. And you can see it's decided that it's come back with Python, right? So, and that's exactly what I want, right? So it's kind of picking up. So obviously there's a slightly sort of pithy examples, but hopefully sort of give you the idea that as we, get to learn more and more about the user, the responses are going to become more and more personalized and more useful as well. Um, so, for example, at the end here, we've got this memory system is what allows me to remember that Python is your favorite programming language, along with your other preferences like C Sharp being your second and your bilingual English and German capabilities. I think bilingual is taking it a little bit too far, but still, hopefully you can see sort of how helpful and useful this feature will be to make your agents more personable and, at the end of the day, much better for your users to interact with. So here we are in the repo for the Microsoft Agent Framework. And what you'll see here is we are in the context providers section. And today what we're going to be doing is looking at the Mem0 implementation of the context provider. And so Mem0, as you can see, it's a self-improving memory layer for large language models. And they actually have their own platform that you can just key into, and there's a very nice abstraction in the platform just to provide an API key and off you go. Now, personally, I would sort of suggest with the sensitive nature of this data, it would be better to self-host this. So within the examples provided here, we also have an open source version. And the version that I'm going to show you is going to be using Azure AI Search and all of our own sort of LLMs and embedding providers to be able to get this to work. So yeah, without further ado, what we'll do is let's jump into some code and yeah, have a look at how it works. Right, so here we are in VS Code. And before we have a little look at what the memory provider looks like, let's just have a little quick review on the packages that you're going to need. So within here, we've got some Microsoft agents that's packages that you're not going to need in order to use memory within the agent framework. All you're going to need is the agent framework and then also Azure Search documents. So it's going to make use of and this is to do with the Azure AI Search SDK to allow for interaction from Mem0 with the Azure AI Search components. So yeah, let's have a little look at what a memory provider looks like. And you'll see that from the agent framework, we're going to be bringing in the Mem0 module and the Mem0 provider. And then from Mem0 itself, we're going to be able to use something called async memory. And what I'm doing, I've got a couple of environment variables that I'm going to bring in. But what we have here is a very quick sort of function to then return the provider that we're going to use within our agent. So in terms of config that we're going to define, we've got an LLM. As you see, we've got some very normal properties that we're going to provide, and again referencing our .env file. We're also going to provide an embedder. So in this case, I'm using the text embedding 3 large. And then also we've got a vector store, which is going to be our Azure AI Search. Now there are a couple of different parameters which you can, filter and sort of play around with. So depending on the sort of vector filter mode, whether you want hybrid search, there's a couple of different things that you can do. But as I say, this will hopefully provide you with a good starting point. And I'll link in the video description how you can, some of the different bits of documentation you might need to fine tune this a bit more. But yeah, all we're doing here is just providing as an async function. We are then going to allow the calling agent to then make use of this provider. So what we're going to do is that we're going to use get mem0 config, and then what we're going to do is create a memory provider. And further to that, what we're going to be doing is that the mem0 provider from the agent framework, we're also able to scope the memories that are going to be returned to a given user. So for my implementation here, because we're using Microsoft Teams, we're going to have access to the user's object ID within Entra. From Graph, sorry. So that's going to allow us then to make sure that we're not, returning John's memories to Paul, for example. And there are some other ways that you can scope memory. You can scope it to a given thread, also to a given chat session, and you can, which to me, to be honest, kind of defeats the whole object of this. But if you wish to, you could, scope memory in that manner. And in terms of how we then make use of this memory provider within our agent, if I pop over into my agent.py, you can see that we're going to be bringing in our function that we've defined in that module in memory provider. And if I scroll down and we get into our actual agent, what you can see here is we've got our context provider, and that is where we're providing our memory provider. So as you can see, very simple, easy integration to be able to hook up that memory provider into our agent. And as I say, to be able to, in this instance, I'm passing down, when I substantiate a chat agent, you can see that we're passing down the user ID, that we're getting higher up within the application, in order to make sure that we're obviously scoping the memories that we're creating, we're fetching, and we're updating to the user that is currently signed in. So as you can see, a pretty simple way to get this up and going. What I can do as well, just very quickly, is if we pop into Azure AI Search, we can also see what that actually looks like there and what the memories look like as they're generated. Here we are in Azure AI Search. We're just using the free tier here. So you can, as your demand grows for your agents, you can scale this up. But in order to be able to make a connection to your Azure AI Search service, all you're going to need is your URL here. And then in terms of your keys, grab an API key. And as long as you set those within your .env file and correctly reference them in your config file, you'll be all set up, ready to go. So let's head over to indexes. And within here, you'll see I've got 3 indexes. And this is the one I want to draw your attention to with a document count of 20. So if I open this up, and what you see in here is that we can actually sort of just interrogate and have a look at the data that's being saved. So what you'll see here, we've got a massive array of vectors, which is kind of all well and good. But this user ID is what maps to my graph identity. So the signed in user's identity in essence. So that's basically the sort of partition key that we're going to be using in order to make sure we're bringing back the right memories for the given user. And basically down here, this is the payload of the text that we're actually going to be bringing back. So you can see that here at some point, mem0 decided that it needed to record that my favorite color is blue. But if I go into something which has a little bit more of a timeline to it, what we can do is, well, it's like a little bit difficult to see, especially across all the vectors. But I'll do my best to sort of try and give you a bit of an idea as we scroll through all of these. So we've got one here that's third favorite programming language is JavaScript. If I scroll down to the next one, yeah, previously preferred Java as a programming language. So this is kind of the interesting one because obviously at some point I said to the agent that Java is my favorite language. I don't know why I would do that, but you can see that that was created at that point. But if I scroll down to another, so you can see that favorite programming language is Python, and you can see that actually it was created at this point and then it was updated down the line. So as I say, this is kind of, as you can see, a little bit of how Mem0 is creating these embeddings and obviously using the LLM to actually kind of synthesize a useful memory that can then be useful in terms of interactions that I or any other user has with the agent. You can see also you can scope these memories to a given agent if you like, and also to a given run as well. But as I say, from just getting started, say sort of the bare minimum obviously would be that if we want to give memory sort of capability across different chat sessions to our given users, then making sure obviously that in terms of ours, if we can partition by signed in user, then this would be the way to do it. But yeah, as I said, hopefully this has shown you how you can get started with a kind of fully hosted open source version of the memory provider, but also seeing how really quickly you can get started with it and just hook it up to your agent. So as I say, I hope that's been of use, and I shall look forward to seeing you in the next video.